question. The question is, how do you know if something is real, like a relationship or love or job or a fortune or whatever? Anything is, or just a projected insecure illusion. You know, red flags versus insecurities. And I'll tell you guys something that's quite fascinating, something that's interesting. Often, you see, it's not just to know that things are good. You know, you can't just see something there and say, wow, all right, it's cool, it's right there, it's on the chill, everything is chill, we're cruising along normally, everything is fine. For most people, that's not good enough. Yeah, blah, 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 Sonny. No, Sonny, I know that. No, you don't. No, you really don't. Most people need to know in themselves that they're attracted to someone. They need to know inside. And there's some things, it's not enough for the other person to say they love you, to show that they love you. It's not, that's, none of that's enough. It's not to, you know, they could be the biggest prize in the entire world and they could worship you and and that's, none of that's enough for you. It's not. You debate it all you want, it's just not it's not true. You need to prove to yourself or show to yourself that, or you need to be shown somehow that that person really is in, not that the person is into you, but that you are into that person. And in seduction, there are a number of things, you know, there are a number of tricks that we use to show the person that you desire that indeed they are into you. And I'll say that again. Are you guys getting this? It's not that the other, you're not testing, you know, it's not just the other person being into you. In fact, most people don't care. They say they care, but they really, it's not the point. You know, you're not driven, you're not motivated, but you're not really motivated by other people's desires. You're motivated by your own internal desires. So your internal desires have to be stimulated, and then there are ways that people do that. And we're talking from the self. At another point in time, I'll talk about how to activate this in other people, how to activate that desire in other people. But for now, I'm teaching you, most of the stuff we talk about on the Sunny Side is how to activate these qualities within yourself so that you can, you know, shed yourself of your animalistic nature or your intrinsic tendencies as a social animal or whatever, so that you can, like, you know, adult up and, you know, walk through some of the pains of being an adult in this world and truly achieve what you want to achieve. You know, not because you're driven by some kind of, you know, driven by, you know, being loose in the zipper, or driven by some kind of fear, or driven by some kind of, you know, intellectual poverty of the mind, or some kind of social, you know, poverty of lack of opportunities. But you could, like, because, you know, you're in control of your shiz, like you are the light. And oftentimes, we have this feeling inside of us, and that feeling inside of us needs to be tested. And so you will rock the boat. You'll rock the boat just to see. Yeah, I mean, you, Sonny, I don't cause no. Yes, you do. I just read you letters of someone unsolicited causing drama because they have some problem within themselves and they decide to write me a letter. Like, why don't you go write it to some? And so one of the things that people do, you know, when this thing inside of them comes out and it needs self-validation, or it's usually what it is, or validation, like it's self-validation, but you can't do it yourself, so you project it onto other people to, you know, to validate you. And so the problem is, so that's the problem. And you go and cause in a myriad, you know, many, you know, like an almost infinite, you know, spectrum of possibilities kind of way, you go and cause a little bit of sabotage in your relationship. You go lay down a couple of little landmines for your partner to walk over so that you can, you know, so you can cause a little drama so that you can make up. All right, so that you know, so that the other person can come back to you with affection. You test them, and it's kind of wrong. They didn't do anything, you know. And anyways, there's a talk there's a talk that we're going to give after this about trust and what trust means in a relationship. But first, before we do any of that, we're going to answer the question, how do you know if something's real? You know, how do you know if you really dig the guy? And I get this question so many times. And again, I've created meditations for you guys to help answer this question. And if you listen to the meditation, you will find your answers at the end. And I've done this for years and years and years. And so check it out. It's in the description box, and there's a whole section on the channel about these meditations that I made for you. And here's the answer. There's no such thing as red flags. Everything is a red flag. Everything is a red flag. You know, like everything. She brushes her teeth in the morning. That's a red flag. Okay? It is. You know, that's it. She doesn't brush her teeth. That's a red flag. Like, everything is a red flag. So it's all about, you know, merging worlds and getting everything together. And if you can't merge worlds, then you can't be in a relationship. People who say a relationship doesn't change you has never been in a real relationship. Like, it's just like I only hear that from single people and from selfish people. Single people, selfish people, narcissists, and fugs. No, I'm just joking. I get this. Anyways, it's a really stupid thing to say that a relationship doesn't change you, because quite obviously it does. And so, anyways, and unless, of course, you really don't want to quit smoking for your partner, unless you really do want to go drinking every Friday, Saturday, Sunday night with your buddies, you know, down from wherever you hang out, and you know, and leave your woman, your wife at home, or you know, in case you really do want to, you know, sit on your ass and watch TV all day and not go pick the kids up, and then by all means, don't let your relationship change you. Anyways, there is a difference how you can figure this out. There is a difference on how you can figure this out. The difference is there are push factors and pull factors, and you can't look at something and tangibly, you can't look at something and tangibly tell if it's gonna work. You can't do that. You can't. All flags are red. All flags are red. All flags are white. All signs are point to love. The difference is there are push factors and there are pull factors. If it's coming from within, guys with me on this? If it's coming from within and it's pushing you towards that relationship, you know, it's pushing you, then watch my hands. Let me remove this from you. If it's pushing you, you are coming up and you're projecting. If it's a push, you're projecting, and then it's false. It's not going to last. Those flags you see in those moments are false. You're projecting you're projecting your emotions onto someone. So that's how you tell. Real love pulls you. With the other person, it's attraction. This attracts this and pulls it. That's attraction. Attraction. You are attracted to that person. That's love. If you are push, that's not love. That's not attraction. That's projection. That's poverty of the mind. That's social, emotional poverty. And that's coming from, you'll never satiate that hunger. You'll push this way, you'll push this way, you'll push this way, you'll push this way. If you are pulled towards something, that's emotional gravity. That is love. You feel a pull towards the other person. They're pulling me. You know, SLC pulled me from Vancouver all the way across the continent. That's a pull. You know, a push is me going on tour in Asia. I feel like I'm going to go on tour in Asia, man. Why not? I feel like I'm going to go hang out in South America for a while. Why not? I like the beach. I like rainforest. I like rain. So like, no, man. I go hang out in Europe for a while. I like riding motorcycles. No, there's a difference between a pull. So how do you know it's real? It's quite simple. A falsity is a push. That's projection. Pull that's love. And that's how you tell the difference. In hypnosis, when I was a hypnotherapist, we put people in a transit and we talk about something a little different. I talk about mind-body connection and moving at the speed of thought or moving at the speed of emotion. You know, if you feel it, you do it. If you think it, you do it. You're free from worries and concerns and stumbling blocks. And you don't even have these questions that we're talking about right now. But this is a talk. This is not hypnotherapy. This is a talk. So in the talk, and you guys can't walk around in a trance all the time or you're going to do stupid things. But that's the deal. On a very conscious level, instead of trying to weigh the options, because if you're weighing the options, you're talking about projection right there. You're arguing with yourself about someone else. It's just unwise. So that's the deal. If it's real, you'll feel a pull towards that person. If it's an illusion, you'll feel a projection. You'll be pushing to make things happen, and that's the difference. And that's the action. I hope it helps.